Hello guys. Welcome to Diablo the Primordial. This video is the continuation video after Royal Capital disturbance. So if you have not watched it, then please watch it. The link is in the description. And please check out my second channel Top Anime Sensei for the light novel of Tensei. So without any further delay, let's start. But before we start, please like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates. In the worst case, it was planned to escape to the Holy City, but that escape path seems to have been closed. However, there probably won't be enough time to transfer everyone. What did those guys demand? Yes, they said to bring out Hinata-sama from a little while ago. That guy named Reiner seems wants to display his power. They said, they disliked that Hinata-sama was called as the strongest. If you want, should I be their opponent? Fritz answered Hinata's question. In this crisis situation, how leisurely? No way, he seriously said that. Was Reiner such a big fool to that extent? Hinata tries to laugh it away and stops moving. And, she timidly asked Fritz. Fritz lets out a sigh and, that, no way, indeed. He answered while shrugging his shoulders. According to Fritz's explanation, it seems Reiner want to wipe out the disgrace of wedding himself due to Shuna's coercion at the council by all means. For that reason, he plans to clear his name by defeating Hinata, who is called as the strongest holy knight. Fool! I already don't have power as I did before. I already retired, you know? It seems to be irrelevant. For Reiner, he wants to overwhelm Hinata-sama in front of the masses to show off his strength. In this regard, I could see that his ulterior motive to harass you. Fritz reported with his full of contempt appearance. Nicholas, who hears it, was enraged. He can't be forgiven, we need to kill him. That low life is not qualified to live. Immediately, Nicholas, who might go to kill, was stopped by Leonard from behind. Please wait, Cardinal, that's what the enemy wants. Leonard said so and desperately restrained Nicholas. He's thinking about measures while waiting for Nicholas to settle down. There's not much time left. Then, if I get defeated, will the citizens survive? I can't say anything. However, although he says defeat, it means death. Laying the blame for the crime of killing the king is Prince Elric's goal. Reiner and the prince cooperated in this coup d'etat because their interests matched. Showing your defeat is. Fritz stopped talking. It doesn't need to be said, their plan was a stupid one, and even Hinata was able to understand that. But, there seems to be no other plan to suppress damage. At least, if she accepted the duel, the citizens would be out of harm. She would somehow counterattack. However, as soon as she done it, Hinata won't be able to wipe the stigma that accused to her. As the witch who rebels against the country army. Right now, as long as she has a chance for excuses, it might be possible to clear her name of that false accusation. If thing goes well, there might be a possibility for evidence to be found that Prince Elric and co were the ones who killed the king. I don't have another choice but to go out. In the meanwhile, strengthen the defense as much as possible. Put a layer of defense barrier, turns the cathedral as an impregnable fortress. After all, although it might be just a temporary peace, I'll be able to buy some time rather than doing nothing. Don't expect anything though, by any chance, that something might occur. In this time of emergency where people should think about measures against the Angel and Velda, there are people who did a really foolish action. Hinata issued her order to the three people while hiding her depressed and desperate mind. But, Hinata-sama. Nicholas tries to stop Hinata with uneasy expression but, don't worry, I don't intend to die. I'll struggle as far as I can to buy you all time. No matter how ungraceful I'll be, I won't give up. Leaving behind those words, Hinata begins to walk. To stands in front of Reiner, sacrificing her body to buy time. Nicholas and co finished putting up barriers in a rush as Hinata ordered and went outside the church. What they saw outside was too horrible. Hinata's clothes were tattered and torn, black bruises are visible. It seems she has received violent assault of punches and kicks. Her fingers also stamped on, it was obvious that they're broken. What stands out are her hands and feet. Meanwhile, there's no wound on her face, it's what made Hinata's disastrous condition stand out. Hinata-sama. Nicholas rushes over to Hinata. Ha ha ha, you're unable to live up to your claims. What a cheeky bastard, it's more suitable for you to rolling on the ground. With an irritating laugh, Reiner laughs loudly. You bastard. Wasn't it a fair and square one-on-one fight? To Leonard's words who shouting angry, Reiner laughed to the nose. A criminal has no human rights, you see. What, we're merciful. If she cried and begs for forgiveness, I'd think to delay the day of the death penalty a bit. Anyway, in the meantime I'll make you show your gratitude." Saying so, Reiner grins and laughs vulgarly. "I can't endure it any longer, as I accept it, here and now you bastard will." "Wait Fritz, the match is still going." Fritz, who enraged and pulling out his sword, was stopped by Hinata, who is dying. And then, she cast for a small recovery magic and connect the cut tendons. Hinata stands up while staggering and somehow holding her sword up. "Hi ha 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 ha. Do you still want to be cut? Are you a masochist? No matter how many times you try, you seem to not able to understand that you won't be able to win against me. Alrighty then, I shall cut you over and over again." With frenzy bloodshot eyes, Reiner shouted. Being driven by his sadistic pleasure, his reasoning starts flying. Normally, it won't be out of control, but, due to pleasures of being able to trample someone who's stronger than him, Reiner's mind was on the verge of abnormality. Even Reiner was aware that he was inferior to Hinata. No, it'd be correct that their differences were clearly pointed at the moment of the confrontation. Even though a lot of the power of Hinata's soul has gone, the ability etched to her body was still there. Even with only her swordsmanship, it surpassed Reiner's slightly. But, Reiner whispered, "Don't resist if you don't want to be attacked by everyone all at once." In accordance with such unreasonable order, Hinata was doing exactly as she was told to do. It was just as Reiner planned. He makes sure that her face uninjured, such as his purpose to enjoy seeing her beautiful, well-featured face warped by pain. And then, after beating her up severely, he was waiting for another fun. Just by imagining it, Reiner felt his own blood boiling and brimming with power. Absolute superiority. Even if she contacts them now, it would take time for the Holy Knights to return. Even if they stop guiding the evacuation and return, they won't be able to return so easily. Besides, if he felt such presences, he would only need to give the attack order quickly. Reiner takes along with him 4,000 soldiers of the army and 300 knights of the Guard Knight Order. There was no chance for defeat. "After I finish tormenting her who made a fool of me, I'll also make that woman named Shuna." At the time Reiner swung his sword downward while having such delusion. Shake. Such clear sound was heard, Reiner's sword was stopped. "Hinata Ne-chan. I came to help." It was a hero with little light. Following behind him are 4 children. And small whispering voices begin to be heard from the people's mouths that saw the person who appeared in front of them. Hiro-sama. It's Hiro-sama. It's Hiro-sama. Hiro-sama has returned. It's Masayuki-sama. Masayuki-sama has returned. And so, it doesn't take a long time for it to be a grand chorus. Bathed inside the chorus, a young man stands in front of the crowd. Reiner with his bloodshot eyes glared at that person. That person stands in front of Reiner. That's right. That person for sure is the strongest man in Ingrasha Kingdom. He's Hiro Masayuki. Why in the world it become like this? Currently, that wasn't what in Masayuki's mind. Masayuki, Masayuki. Masayuki stood inside the people's cheers. Then, he tilted his neck diagonally as he was instructed to, and directed his sight downward. In about 2 seconds, he turned his face to the front slowly and meets the people's gazes. Only doing so, the increasing level of people's excitement can be felt. It was very effective to the extent of being terrifying. As expected, it's as Rimuru-san says. That's right. Masayuki's gesture just now was the result of his training under Rimuru's guidance. Grasping the people's minds, the effect of unique skill the chosen one has increased due to the calculated gesture instead of solely relying on the skill. It can't be helped for Masayuki to trembling with fear as the influence was beyond than what he expected. He just received a bit acting lesson, but the effect was too overwhelming. As soon as Masayuki turned his gaze over, the people closed their mouths. Quietly, like the waves, silence descended to this place. It was already a sight that he saw so many times. Actually, for Masayuki. Before visiting the Ingrasha Kingdom, he visited several countries around Great Jura Forest and had calmed down similar mayhem. Before the Great War begins, Masayuki was called by Rimuru and had received a request. With a carefree tone, Rimuru asked him, "Please persuade the people in each country so they will not cause a riot." No, it's impossible for me." "What are you saying, Masayuki-kun? You can do it?" "No, only you can do it." After such conversation, he was coaxed with, don't worry. If it's you, you can do anything as you please." After that, He received a bit acting lesson, from the pose before the speech and the movement of his eyes during the speech. Everything was drawn in detail in the memo given to him. Also, kufufufu, as expected from Masayuki Dono, it's splendid. You seem to better than a demon at grasping people's minds, you have my admiration. He gets praised by Diablo, the demon itself. He was not happy at all, but Masayuki warded off that feeling with a complicated smile. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys have not watched my earlier videos, then please watch them. The links are in the description. And please check out my other channel Top Anime Sensei for the light novel of Tensura. And don't forget to like, subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss the updates.